Anthony? Hey, are you really not feeling like leaving that condo anytime soon?
What? You're going on about that again, Sienna? Sienna, when are you going to finally understand my current situation instead of always acting like everything I say and do is a lie? I'm starting to lose faith in all these explanations I keep giving you about myself.
As you should, because there's no point in lying to me all the time about what you're currently doing. I won't begin to understand you until you begin to tell me the truth. So, Anthony, why are you not able to ever understand any of the things I explained to you? That condo, the one you currently live in as well, is the condo that your older brother, who is making $1 million a year, who is also my husband, bought for us. In other words, I'm the only one with the right to live there besides him. Are you not embarrassed to be sitting around in our house all the time like a parasite?
Then you're saying my mom also does not have the right to live there, even though her husband just passed away not too long ago and she's lonely right now?
As for your mom, well, she's currently working, and as long as she's putting money into the house, I don't mind having her live with us. But you went and quit your job out of nowhere, and the moment your brother said it was fine for you to move in with us, you had all your things shoved through our front door and started staying with us. And ever since that day, you haven't even tried to look for a new job. Instead, sitting around all day in that room my husband gave you, doing nothing at all with your life.
You're not working either, Sienna.
There's no reason for me to be working right now. Don't relate a housewife like myself to whatever sad mess you are. Also, it's natural for the husband's wife to be living in the same place as him, right? You're in no place to tell me I can't live here just because I'm not working now.
And that's why I've told you plenty of times before. I left that job I had before so that I could help my brother with his job, as well as get the required certifications that I need to go and work with him full time. And this whole building happens to be a part of the company. Therefore, I'm allowed to live here just like any other employee who works there. There's a place for everyone in my brother's family here, which means you don't have to act like I'm taking up this whole condo, when it was made specifically for all of us to be here. Now let me ask, why haven't you come and moved in yet?
Because I am waiting for you to get out of there before bringing all my stuff.
What? Why?
Listen, Anthony, I'm saying all of this for your own good. That condo is my wealthy husband's place to make his home. And with his mother willing to work a job and help pay the bills, she's allowed a spot there. But the fact that you just climbed on in and haven't left that place since to work or go out and study, that's what makes you the definition of a parasite.
Do you even know the definition of a parasite?
If you don't want to be called such a nasty thing anymore, go out and find a job and then get out of our condo. Until you are officially moved out of there, I am not going to stop pestering you about it.
Colt, do you have a second to talk? Oh, hey, Anthony. What do you want to talk about? Is this about studying for that exam you have coming up? Actually, that's all been going pretty well for me. I've been making sure to study for at least 4 hours a day. However, I want to talk to you about your wife right now. I don't think I can stand her for much longer, Colt. Was she saying even more things to you? These days she's texting me around 1 to 2 times telling me to get out of your condo. Then she'll go on about how I'm doing nothing at all with my life and won't even listen to my explanations about why she is wrong. I've told her before that this whole building is a part of the company, which means that I'm allowed to live here since I'm technically working with you. Yet she won't even listen to that. I see. I'm sorry for saying this to you all the time. I'm sure she's far more trouble around you than she is around me. No, I'm sorry that you're having to continue putting up with her when you've done nothing to deserve that kind of treatment. Today I accidentally told her that she does have a room here with you and that she doesn't have to keep whining about me taking up her space. Was that too soon of me? No, that's fine. You can tell her it's okay to come now. If she really were to move out right now, I wouldn't be bothered by it because my room is already set up completely, so she can come sleep with me and then work on setting up her hobby room during her free time. Oh, that's a good point. Thank goodness. I really am sorry, though, for all the trouble she's causing you. I was really hoping that things would go a little more smoothly so that we could all be happy and not have to fight. I don't think she even understands that part of the reason why things have been taking so long with moving into the condo is because we have to renovate a lot of things still. I really want that office for you and I completed soon, but that's not stopping her from moving in, and neither are you. Ugh, I wish you would just be a little bit more open-minded. This whole building still has a lot of work that needs to be done, so I really need to get back to focusing on that completely. Having to run a company like that really must be a stressful job, huh? Kind of is. Well, things should be calming down here soon, right? That's right. I can already see the end of this long and tiresome tunnel. You also know that things are coming to a close here soon then, which means we'll both have to act soon. Let's both do our best when the time comes to finish things off. All right. Thank you for being by my side here, Anthony.
Anthony, tomorrow I'll be moving into that condo.
What? Oh, now that I think about it, your lease on that apartment is pretty much over with now.
That's right. Honestly, the fact that I have to move into that condo now, knowing that you have still not moved out of there like I've asked so many times, pisses me off. Not only do I have to move in now because my lease is ended, but I have to do so with you still acting all comfortable there.
By the way, tomorrow my brother has the day off work, right?
Well, it is the day that I'll be moving into his condo. It also seems that he's taking care of a lot of the trouble within his company now. So now I'll have a chance to talk with him in person about hiring an exterminator to deal with the parasite that's still living within his home. Hey, Anthony!
Oh, hey, Sienna. You should be in the middle of moving in, correct? What's happened that has you calling me so many times like that?
Have you gone and told my husband something that's not true?
What? I'm very sorry, but I really don't have any idea what you're trying to assume that I've done.
I do not like riding in cars very much as it makes me feel very sick. So I took some medicine to make me fall asleep for the ride over to the condo and wasn't awake the whole entire time. I was just told that we had arrived, so I opened my eyes. This isn't the condo I was told about. This is Brandon's family's house.
Brandon? Ah, you're talking about the man you've been cheating on my brother with.
Wait, what?
So what you're trying to say right now is this. After having sent all of your things out of the old apartment with the moving company, you and my brother got into his car and rode in it all the way there. And to your surprise, the place you were going wasn't this condo, but to your secret boyfriend's house, right?
So you know all about this already? What the hell is up with you, Anthony? And what the hell is going on here?
I'm only telling you the things I've been told by my brother about you.
What?
Originally, Colt had only sent the remainder of his things to this condo in those moving trucks, because he already knew what was going on with you and that Brandon guy. But when I showed him all the things you had been saying to me about being a parasite and not working a job, he knew you had no right to speak about that. Especially when you're nothing but a stranger to us.
What? What do you mean, a stranger? Why would he be calling his own wife a stranger now?
Sienna!
Colt.
You just learned that I'd known about you cheating on me, yet you still have the nerve to call yourself my wife?
Things aren't what you think, Colt. That man, Brandon. He's nothing more than a friend of mine, and we haven't done anything together.
I have a whole lot of evidence that points to you lying right now.
What?
I can see you don't know what's been going on still. But Brandon just so happened to be Anthony's old co-worker.
Huh?
And all this started when my brother noticed you and him coming out of a hotel together while he was on his way home from the office. He was very troubled by what he has seen, but took the chance to tell me what he saw. Hearing that from him, I called a detective to have him take a deeper look into you.
You've been using a detective now?
After a few weeks of having him look into you and the man you've been with, he found out that you have both been a thing since before we got married. And the only reason you ever ended up marrying me in the first place is because you both knew I've been running my own company and that you could use me as your ATM. The main reason why you wanted my money so badly was because you needed me to help you pay off all that debt you'd been in. Then when you found out about the condo I'd bought, you intended on using that as a place to make love to Brandon, until my mom and I were fully moved into it. But that's when you ran into my brother living there. And without even caring about his explanation that he's working for me and studying, started calling him a parasite in hopes of getting him to leave.
What the heck? Why did you both find out about this? This is all because of your little brother. I knew he was trouble the moment I ran into him.
What are you talking about? This is all because of you and your boyfriend you've been keeping behind my back. Don't even try pushing the blame onto my little brother now.
All right, okay. I'll break up with Brandon now if you want.
Huh?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I don't care about all the debt that he's gotten himself into. I already had my debts paid off, so I don't need to listen to what he says anymore. He was the one that got me all wrapped up in this in the first place. Now that I've started to see the full situation, I know that you're the only man that makes me happy, and that's why I married you. Please, believe me.
Would someone that really married me because they're happy with me continue going to hotels with that man after our wedding? I told you I have all the evidence. No matter what you have to say to me now, our divorce is set in stone. And what I mean by that is we're already divorced.
Huh?
A little while back, you stayed out way too late. And when I said I wanted you home earlier, you came home and gave me divorce paperwork that you had already filled out. You then went and threatened me by saying you could divorce me whenever you wanted to.
What? No way. You used that divorce paperwork?
I did. And I handed them into the courthouse completely filled out just the other day. Which means that you and I are nothing more than strangers now.
This has to be a lie, right?
Now, here's the thing. Just because we're divorced now doesn't wash away your sins of cheating on me that whole time we'd been married. And so I'll be getting a settlement from both you and Brandon.
A settlement?
And if you'd like to know where all of your things were sent to, they're at Brandon's family house already. That was all a choice made by your parents, by the way.
What?
This is what your dad wanted me to tell you, so I'll let you hear this now. If you wanted to be with Brandon so bad, then here's your chance to do just that. Please have your marriage form handed into the courthouse in the next 100 days, or else you're coming home to us.
Huh?
He then went on to say, you will be working with that man for the rest of your life in order to pay off his $200,000 worth of debt for letting his company fail.
What is he saying?
If you do marry him in the next 100 days, then your mother and I will be cutting ties to you. And if you don't, you'll be coming home and receiving the worst punishment anyone will have ever received.
What?
It sounds to me like your dad'll be paying off your settlement and Brandon's settlement to me. But then you both will have to be indebted to him for the rest of your lives.
Wait. Oh, this is all completely screwed up, right?
Well, then you could go have a discussion with your parents as to why you think they're being too harsh. I just ask that you pay off that settlement through your dad as quickly as possible. Other than talks about the money, I don't want to hear any more from you. You were the one that got yourself into that situation, so please, don't get me involved in it anymore.
How am I supposed to go and talk to them when they want me either dead or married to a man with tons of debt?
That's not my problem.
Colt!
Goodbye forever now.
I don't want to be in debt again.
After all of that, I got a text from Sienna telling me to do something about my brother. But I chose to block her number immediately after getting that text. My brother later told me that right after he said goodbye to Sienna, she tried to run back to her parents' house asking for forgiveness. But they kicked her out, saying that she had to get married to Brandon. And so, with nowhere left to run, and 100 days to get that marriage taken care of, she did just that and moved in with Brandon and his family. Little did she know the extent of Brandon's debt was much worse than she had thought, and it included his whole family after their company fell apart. Her parents were happy to hear she was getting married to him, because they needed her to start working for them right away. And it wasn't long before the news got out that she and Brandon were officially married. As of right now, it doesn't matter whether it's morning, evening, or night. Sienna is working her butt off for that family and not able to escape from them. And most recently, her mother-in-law has really started to squeeze her grip tightly on Sienna, leaving her looking like she's in a worse state every day. With there being nowhere else for Sienna to even think about running now, her mind and her heart have officially been broken, with her becoming a part of that family for the rest of time. As for my brother Colt, he fully moved into his new condo with me, and having had all the renovations completed, it was time for him to start moving more and more of his newer employees into the building. I was also able to pass my exam first try, and will now be working alongside him full-time, based in our new office located in the condo itself. Of course, we'll both have to go into the actual office every week, but it sure does feel good to finally have this new job with my brother and to not have that money-sucking parasite attached to my brother anymore. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Good morning, Alyssa. Are you working this morning too? I heard your husband Henry is a high-flying banking executive. Is it true? Surely you don't have to work so hard when your man's bringing in that much money. I fail to see why you'd be so desperate to sacrifice yourself as a corporate cannon fodder cubicle slave to a company that couldn't care less about you. If I were you, I'd be pouring all that energy into being the best stay-at-home housewife there ever was to make sure Henry had all of his needs provided for, if you catch my drift. If it was me, I'd sure as heck wouldn't be slacking on my womanly duties like you are. Oh, Henry is just so dreamy. He's so wasted on good-for-nothing corporate livestock like you. How on earth did you manage to bag yourself such a high-quality guy in the first place? I fail to see what he sees in you. If he's truly honest with himself, I'm sure he'd probably rather have a loyally devoted stay-at-home housewife like me as his wife. Good morning, Christine. Reading through your deluded fantasies first thing in the morning is so disgusting it's making me want to throw up. So would you kindly stop spamming my message box with your hate? Thanks. Huh? Disgusting? How dare you speak to me like that? Henry says he'll always love me whether I work or not. Oh dear, would you look at that? She accuses me of being delusional while coming up with ridiculous fantasies of her own. There's no way any man would ever say that, darling. Everyone knows men only look for two things in a woman: big boobs and good cooking. Are you sure all that working hasn't fried your neural circuits? You really should think before you speak sometimes. A high-flying stud like Henry, happy with a working wife? Now I've heard it all. My train will be arriving at the station soon and I have to make it to work, so I gotta go. Goodbye. Oh, how sad. You're such corporate livestock, you don't even have the freedom to message when you want to. That can only mean you probably don't have enough time to talk to your husband either. Oh dear, that poor man. Henry must be really lonely and sexually unsatisfied with you as his wife. If it was me with that ring on my finger, I'd become a stay-at-home housewife and listen to his troubles until the early hours. I'd be there for him whenever he needed me, his solid, dependable rock, his shoulder to cry on. Listen, Alyssa, don't you think it's best for Henry that you divorce him? At this rate, he'll be stuck with you for the rest of his life. Truly a fate worse than death.
Hey, Alyssa. I'm taking a late lunch break right now. What was that woman's name again? You know, the annoying one from kindergarten.
Huh?
You know, the one you said was a pain in the ass to talk to. The one who keeps insulting you, calling you stuff like corporate livestock, bugging you all the time with random hate-filled messages.
Oh, Christine?
Ah, that's it. So that was her name.
Did something happen with her?
Well, she's been waiting in the lobby of the bank all morning. She's only just left.
Jesus, are you kidding me? You mean she showed up to your workplace at the bank by the station?
Yeah, she was here until about an hour ago. I had a suspicion that was who she was, so I didn't go over and speak to her myself, but when I asked one of my coworkers to go over and see what she wanted, apparently, she pretty much ignored everything he asked her while staring at me as I dealt with another customer before suddenly getting up and walking out.
Wow, incredible. She must really have a lot of free time on her hands.
Is that all this is?
Gah, nope, no. I think there's actually more to it. I wasn't sure whether I should tell you about this, but if she's doing weird stuff like showing up at your workplace now, I think it's for the best that you know.
Know what? What is it?
I think Christine might be trying to steal you from me.
Steal me? From you?
She just showed up at your workplace, right? I think that from now on, at least for the foreseeable future, you should operate under the assumption that you're being stalked.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yep, I'm serious. To tell you the truth, she's been sending me lots of messages recently that would indicate that's what she's trying to do. To be honest, a part of me suspected she might do something crazy, but I guess the rest of me didn't want to accept it. Then finally, the other day, I got a message that made it as plain as day that what she's trying to do here is cause me and you to get a divorce.
Man, I can't believe this. Christine, seriously? She's about as far away from being my type of woman as could possibly be. And look, to tell you the truth, I hate girls who act the way she does.
I know that, which is why I know there's no danger of you ever looking at her in that way, and honestly, I'd be happy just to ignore her if she didn't cause anyone any problems. But if she's already doing crazy stuff like showing up at your workplace while you're on shift, we might have to start proceeding with a little more caution.
I'll tell you what, babe. I'll explain the situation to my boss so that if she shows up again, you can be ready this time. Let's just see how things play out for now.
Yeah, good idea. It'll help if your coworkers know what she looks like. I'll be on my guard too. I'll let you know if she says anything else, okay? Sorry for keeping this from you, Henry. I just didn't want to bother you is all, but I never expected her to start acting like this.
Don't worry about it, Alyssa. I totally understand why you didn't tell me. All right, I have to go. Catch you later. Alyssa, that woman is totally insane.
What happened?
It's Christine. She started working at the convenience store across the road from the bank.
She started doing what?
When I went to the store before work to grab some sandwiches and a drink for my lunch, I was browsing the sandwiches when she slithered around the corner from behind me all of a sudden, wearing one of the store uniforms. Then positioned herself between me and the sandwich counter so we were facing each other head on, and there was like 1 centimeter between us, and stared at me intently with the creepiest, most spine-chilling smile I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god, that sounds like something out of a horror movie. Wait a sec. So she suddenly has a job after calling me corporate livestock all this time? At a convenience store, no less?
Hey, that's a good point. Do you think she knows?
I'm guessing she started working there because she doesn't. I'm gonna do a little digging. Will you carry on keeping an eye on her for the time being? Make sure she doesn't notice you if you can avoid it, though. It's important we don't let our guard down here. There's no telling what she might do next.
Got it. You're right, Alyssa. You too, babe. Stay safe.
Hey, Alyssa. If I told you my plan to get closer to Henry was going amazingly well, what would you say? He is such a sweetheart. Can you believe he's been using his breaks from work to come and see me? But when I stare deep into his eyes, he gets embarrassed and averts his gaze. Isn't that the sweetest thing? My Henry is the cutest. I bet you never get to see his tender side like that, do you? Are you jealous? Go on, you are, aren't you? It's okay to admit you're in pain, honey. Anyone would be in your situation. Love is the most amazing thing. I don't need to hear any more about your absurd delusions, thanks. Excuse me? Listen, Alyssa. It's becoming increasingly obvious to me now that you don't know your place. Should I put you out of your misery and tell you? My place? You seem totally oblivious to it, but you should know that you're already well on the way to being divorced by a hunky Henry. And living a life of despairing isolation and poverty as a single mother. The wheels are in motion, my dear, and there are no brakes on this train. As for me, my future as Henry's wife is already a dead certainty. Everyone knows that to have a rich, handsome husband is the ultimate status symbol for any woman. Basically, soon I'll have reached the peak of female excellence, and my status will be higher than all of the moms at kindergarten put together. And obviously, this part should go without saying, but it's your job as the lowest IQ moron of all the moms at kindergarten to follow my orders and do exactly as I say. That's why I hereby order you to divorce your husband. Hand him over. He's mine. Wow, this is really quite something, Christine. You know, just because you just got divorced yourself doesn't give you the right to go around trying to get your claws into other girls' guys. Huh? What the hell? What are you talking about? Me? Divorced? I didn't get divorced at all. No. That's not how this goes down at all. What's actually going to happen is that once mine and Henry's engagement is official, I'll be filing for divorce with my husband, but not a moment before. That convenience store across the road from the bank Henry works at? You started working part-time there a little while ago, right? Huh? How do you know that? According to my conversations with the other staff who work the same shift as you at the store, you've been going around seemingly half bragging about how your husband divorced you when he found out you had another boyfriend, and how you didn't have a choice but to pay him every cent of the compensation he demanded from you in court. You told them all about the circumstances leading up to your divorce with such boldness and forthrightedness that it almost seemed like you were proud of it. The reason you suddenly got a job after ridiculing me for God knows how long for being a working woman while extolling the virtues of being a stay-at-home housewife is because you suddenly owed your ex-husband massive amounts of compensation after the divorce and no longer had anyone to support you. You had no choice but to get a job and actually support yourself for a change, right? No. Oh my God. Wait a sec. How did you... That's not all. You were constantly bragging about how your new boyfriend worked at the bank across the road. You wouldn't have happened to have been talking about my husband, Henry, would you? It's actually impressive that you're still totally oblivious to how much you disgust him. To quote him, "She makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end." Your visits to the bank have even gotten so bad that his co-workers have been forced to talk to you several times and are now considering banning you from the premises entirely. And yet you still don't have a clue how unwelcome you are, do you? No. You hold your horses for just 1 second, Missy. What the hell is this? Those were all personal conversations held in the privacy of the convenience store staff room. How would you know about them? You don't even work there. Yep, I knew it. You don't know, do you? I guess it was only a recent development. What was? I'm the area manager for every single store in the region. Huh? The hiring of part-time and temp workers is still down to the store manager, so I don't have any say in that. But come to think of it, I still haven't shown my face at the store while you've been on shift, have I? Area manager? Wait, I've heard that title before. Aren't they even more important than the store manager? And it's you? Yep, it's me. In other words, I'm your boss. What? This is some kind of joke. You cannot be serious. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. You're fired. What the heck? Where did that come from all of a sudden? Listen, Christine, the thing is, I've been receiving constant complaints from the store manager about how you have an awful attitude and refuse to do any work at the store. You were so busy bragging about your alleged boyfriend working at the bank across the road that you thought you were above doing anything else, like you were somehow exempt from doing the job you were literally just hired to do. You even went as far as harassing Henry's co-workers at the bank when they stopped by the store to buy their lunch by aggressively trying to extract information about my husband from them. Don't even get me started on when Henry himself came in. You followed him so closely you may as well have been glued to him. You weren't only reported to the store manager by your co-workers, but you even made other customers feel uncomfortable with your creepy, unacceptable behavior. Me? Reported to the store manager? I had him check the surveillance cam footage, and sure enough, your conduct at work was horrendous. So after stopping by for a meeting with the manager, we decided that you stepping down was the only realistic solution, because we sure as hell couldn't let you carry on working there. Oh my God, you're horrible! To think you're abusing your powers as area manager just because Henry is about to leave you for me? This is disgusting. I'll have you in court for this. That's your response to everything I just told you? Seriously? I guess I shouldn't be surprised after everything, but you still somehow managed to astound me. You should know that Henry has zero intention of leaving, nor divorcing me. Huh? What do you mean? Don't be silly. Of course he does. How can you still not get it? I literally just told you. You've been causing Henry a world of trouble, and he is sick of you. Me? He's sick of me? Want some proof? How about the fact he's barely been stopping by the store since you started stalking him every time he showed up? You must have noticed he hasn't been around as much, right? He hated you following him around so much that he started getting his coworkers to pick up his lunch instead of having to face you himself. What? No, but Henry loves me. Anyway, you'll probably receive official notice from the store manager soon. You're fired. We won't be needing you to show up for your shift tomorrow. No way, but I worked so hard to get this job and I need the money. I just got divorced, goddammit. My husband even took custody of our son. My life's a dumpster fire, for crying out loud. I am barely managing to get by as it is. And now you're saying I'm fired? Ugh. I don't want to have to look for a new job. I worked so hard to get this one. In that case, you should have worked a little harder to keep a hold of it instead of using it as an opportunity to stalk my husband. Make no mistake, the reason for your dismissal is the continued refusal to do even the bare minimum of work. If you'd just done your job and not stalked my husband, I would have had no issue with keeping you on. But you're the area manager. Surely all it will take is one word from you and this whole thing would go away, right? Excuse me? Me and you are friends, right? We became best friends after meeting outside the kindergarten. Your husband took full custody of your son, did he not? Huh? Which means our kids, our initial point of contact, no longer serve as a medium through which I am forced to continue our relationship. I'll never have to tolerate you outside of kindergarten again, and I gotta tell you, Christine, I am super relieved by that. What? You're relieved? All right, I think we're done here. Alyssa, please wait. I can't cope on my own. I mean it. I'm all alone and I don't know what to do. See ya. I was shocked to discover the reason Christine initially got the hots for my husband is because he was the bank clerk who helped her make the compensation payment to her ex-husband after he divorced her. Henry, being good at his job, was naturally very friendly and polite to her and kept a smile on his face throughout the whole interaction. Christine, being completely insane, mistook that as him having a crush on her. When I asked Henry about it, he said he didn't even remember it. Eventually, Christine, after having her life smashed into smithereens by the mother of all deluded misunderstandings and an unhealthy obsession with other women's husbands, had no choice but to move back in with her parents in the middle of nowhere. However, around the same time, she got wind of the news that her first ever boyfriend had just divorced his wife. True to form, of course, crazy Christine interpreted this as him wanting to rekindle their old flame and spend the rest of his life with her. With that, she launched a stalking campaign so intense, it made what she did to Henry look like a warm-up. She lay in wait outside the poor guy's house every night before trying to force her way inside with him when he got back from work. When that failed, she crammed his postbox full with thousands upon thousands of love letters. Eventually, he was so terrified he got the police involved, leading to a restraining order being put out and Christine having to pay thousands of dollars in compensation. Before long, the whole town knew about her insane shenanigans, and her parents were forced to kick her out due to the shame and embarrassment. I have no idea where she is now, and to be honest, I couldn't be more pleased about that.